Hi NC Kids 5 through 12. As April's approaching, the month of Easter is approaching, our theme is on humility. And so we're gonna be teaching adults and kids how to be humble. So your first lesson for your first week, we have that prayer at the beginning, huddle up with your team members, pray over the day, pray over the kids. And then you have live out loud on week 1. And then for your offering, you're gonna take up offering and then guide the kids through a guided prayer, just asking God to help them put others first, which is the theme for this week. And then you have 4 activities just because they had some really good activities this week. So you have a few options based upon what you want to do. So your first activity is called Got Your Back. You're going to explain to kids that you're going to count to 5 and say go, or you're just going to say go. And then they'll have 5 seconds to pair up back to back with some kid. And then those who are not paired up back to back in 5 seconds are out. And so you play as many rounds until you just have 2 people left that have won the game. And then you're teaching them in the phrasing that you're going to be talking about after the game, how to have each other's back. And so activity 2 is called Wake Up Disciples. So you are going to have kids form the smallest circles they can based upon how many team members you have. You're going to have 1 penny and 1 nickel in the center of a circle. And then you're going to read a scenario. For months, the Jewish religious leaders have been plotting to kill Jesus. And then you're going to say, wake up disciples. After you say wake up disciples, they either pick the penny if it was a true statement or a nickel if it was a false statement. And then you're going to have a winner and you keep repeating. So you're going to keep having different verses and then they pick true or false. Okay, so for activity 3, it's your humility action plan. And so this you're gonna just walk through with your students and they're gonna put their own people and scenarios in place. So the first one says, I can be a friend to blank by blank. So you're gonna encourage kids to write a name down, think about where they're gonna go this week, think about who they come in contact with, schools or groups or parks or friends. I could give blank to blank. I could let blank go ahead of me at blank. And so you're gonna have kids fill this out. And then the date completed, they can take it home and then write a date that they completed those if they want, but it's teaching kids how to put others first, which is a very good lesson. Your 4 is discussion questions. So for week 2 of April is Easter. So you're gonna hand out these fun little dum-dum Easter eggs at the end of service. If you hand these out at the beginning, you're gonna have hyped up kids. So the end of service. All right, for Easter, your offering is just asking questions related to Easter after you take up their offering. And then for your first activity, we have Fast Pass. So you're gonna have 2 teams and then you're gonna have cardboard crosses. And so they're gonna race to put their name on the cross. And so how that's gonna work is 2 teams face to face and you're gonna have a cross at one end and the kid has to pass the cross all the way down to the other end. That kid will write their name on the cross legibly and go to the beginning. And then they pass the cross down and the kid at the end writes their name on the cross legibly, goes to the beginning with the cross, they pass the cross down until all kids have done it. And they have to write their name legibly and whoever fills their cross up first wins. And then you have a very specific wordage in here, just talking about how Jesus died on the cross and how it's Easter and he was raised again and he's not still on the cross. So you want to make sure you pay attention to this wording. It's kind of like many little salvation prayers or salvation messages in the midst of Easter. So for activity 2, you have Eggstravaganza. So you're gonna have these eggs, or this is 1 egg. You will have many eggs and you're gonna just cut up some of these scriptures and put inside the eggs. And then you're gonna use masking tape to divide your room in half. And then you lay the eggs out on the masking tape and you're gonna tell the team that you're gonna play a song. And for the whole song, their goal is to get as many eggs on the other side of the team. And so you can do this in many different ways. They can literally pick it up and roll it, or you can say, play a few rounds. You can say you have to actually flick the egg, or however you want to do, you can get creative there and play as many rounds as you want. But then at the end, whoever has the fewer amount of eggs on their side wins. And then they open up the egg and put the verse in order. So you're gonna have all these in the eggs, and so they have to put the actual verses in order. All right, so for activity 3, you have discussion questions. For week 3, your offering is a fun little game. It's an ABC game, but you're gonna say, I can put Addison first. And then the next person might say, I can put Addison and Brennan first. And the next person has to say, I can put Addison, Brennan, and Caleb first. The next person has to use the D. So it's like a memory game, and I'm putting someone first, which is the theme. And so that is fun and interesting, and would test adults too. All right, so for activity 1, you have copy dot. So you're gonna give these to your kids. They're gonna pair up with somebody, and you're gonna tell the first kid to put 10 dots on this square anywhere they want. And then you're gonna say, okay, you are going to have 15 seconds to show your partner your grid. And the partner has to try to remember where all the dots are and make the exact dots on his grid. Okay, so I'm filling this out, 10 spots. And then when the teacher says go, I turn around and show my partner those 10 dots, and then he has to fill it out. And then the next time the partner puts 10 dots, and this person has to put the dots where he remembers that they are. So memory game with that one. And it's putting others first because Jesus put you first, is the bottom line for that week. Okay, for activity 2, it's called Clump Scriptures. And so what you're gonna do is form teams of 3 and 4 kids, and then you're going to give them a shape that they have to create with their bodies, like laying on the ground. And so the first one might be a number 1, number pizza, baseball, and a bat, and a heart. And after each of the questions, so you give them a shape to create, and then you have a conversation question to ask them so that they get talking. Then you give them a shape to create, and then a question so that they talk amongst themselves. And there is also a make it personal moment on this one, and so make sure y'all take advantage of that. All right, so week 4, your offering is just asking some questions. Asking questions gets kids talking, and they get to know each other and find out, oh, I actually have something in common with him, and it just creates friendships. So for this offering, you're taking up offering and then asking questions. All right, this one is super fun. So it's called Cups Up, Cups Down. You're gonna divide the room in half with masking tape and divide your plastic cups in half. And so one side of the masking tape is gonna have cups up. The other side of the masking tape is gonna have cups down. And then, actually you don't even have to divide your room. You just cups up, cups down. And then when you say go, one team is gonna be cups up. You divide your kids in half. That's what it is. So one team is cups up, one team is cups down. So the team that's cups down, they want to go over and flip all the cups. And the other team wants to flip the cups as well. And so whoever has the most amount of cups up or down wins. So the teams are actually trying to flip everybody else's cup so that their cup wins. And so that is fun. But there's a theme to that. In your bottom line, let's see. Make it personal. So you have another make it personal moment here, but there's always more to discover about God is your bottom line for this one. So, but you do have a make it personal moment where you share a little testimony with that one as well. All right, for your second activity, you have a missing word. And so you're gonna gather your kids in a circle, and then you're gonna read the scripture, and then you're gonna have one kid say the scripture with a missing word. And so with that missing word, they clap instead of say it. So your scripture this month is, don't do anything to get ahead. So if we did just that first part, don't do anything to get, and then the class is gonna say ahead. And so the next person might say, do anything to get ahead. And the class needs to say don't is the missing word. And if you wanna get creative, the next person could do 2 claps. So don't only get ahead. So the class is gonna say do anything is what's missing. So keep the scripture on your screen so that kids can see it. And then we're kind of just getting kids to work through those words and work through the verse so that they can store it in their mind. And so that was activity 2. Activity 3 is discussion. And so that's it for the month of April. Y'all enjoy the month and have a good Easter. Thanks.